First of all, congrats to North Carolina. They are really playing good basketball right now. They're young guys, they're freshman guards, have really grown up and are playing much better than they were earlier in the year. And then their veteran big guys, were the two guys that really impacted the game at a significant level. Their two big guys scoring the basketball, but then their other older guy, Leaky Black, with what he was able to do and being disruptive on the defensive end. So congrats to them. They're a good team. They're playing really well right now. I thought we did some good things at times, but we have to be able to do really good things for 40 minutes. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that today. So questions?
Jeff, we had talked a lot going into the matchup about Carolina's size. They start two guys who are 6'10". They have a third guy who is a 6'8" in the starting lineup. I mean, when there's such a size disparity like that, I mean, how much is there that can even be done to kind of mitigate that? And what was your all's general plan going into the night to try to combat that?
Yeah, well, most of the teams we play against are bigger than us, and we've done a pretty good job all year. We have to block out. We have to be physical. We were not physical today. We weren't physical with our blockouts. We weren't physical trying to get open. They were able to take us out of some things with their pressure, and we have to do a better job of that. That's what we talked about. We knew rebounding was going to be a significant portion of this game. We know that's a major strength of theirs. They're number one in the conference and number two in the country in offensive rebounding. And, when Carolina's program, that's what they do. And then, transition defense is going to be paramount. We thought if we were able to rebound like we have been earlier in the year or prior to the past 3 games, we will be able to get out and transition against them. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do it.
Jeff, were you just looking at what Terrell and what Coulibaly were able to do for you with the foul trouble? Just how much did that cause a problem to your post depth, just as Craig said, matching up with their size?
Yeah, well, it hurt us with Kareem being in foul trouble. I thought we made a push. We won the first segment of the second half, and that's what we talked about at halftime. Just gradually cut it to win each segment. And so we won the first 4 minutes, and then he picked up his third. And when he went out, that hurt us. That hurt us defensively. That hurt us offensively. And so, again, in a game like this, when the ball is coming inside, you have to do a better job early defensively, and then we have to get some help. But that certainly hurt us when Kareem picked up his third foul and they had to go to the bench. I think they pushed it. That's during that period right there where they pushed it to 16.
Jeff, I know there weren't as many possessions as in some games, but do you need to find ways to get Justin more than 9 shots in a game?
We do. We absolutely do. And again, we have to run our offense better in order to do that. We have to be able to execute. We have to be able to get into entries and get the ball where we want to get it to. They did a good job. North Carolina did a good job of taking us out of some of our stuff tonight.
Jeff, what did Carolina do to kind of take you guys out of that?
They pressured. They were up in the passing lanes. They really utilized their length at the 3, 4, and 5 with Leaky, Baycott, and with Brooks. And then when they came in with the other big guys, they really did a good job of being up in passing lanes, taking us out of entries of some things that we wanted to do. And we weren't able to get to some of the counters. We didn't make some good decisions at times.
Jeff, you brought in Femi for 11 minutes this game. He got 6 points, and it looked like he was starting to get into different things. How did you assess his performance and the time he was getting you off the bench?
Yeah, it's been solid. He's done some really good things for us. We need him. We think he's going to be a good player for us. He's been a good player for us and did some good stuff.
Jeff,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Was there anything offensively in the second half, especially during a couple of those spurts there early in the second half? Y'all got to the rim easier, and then you had the 10 unanswered points. What in those moments offensively seemed to be working for y'all?
We put them in ball screens. We got their bigs moving, and we got them in ball screens, got them mixed up a little bit. They made an adjustment. They started to switch and everything. and we weren't able to capitalize on that. But that's what we did early. We got them moving a little bit and forced them to talk. They didn't maybe during that moment do a great job of communicating. We were able to take advantage of that. We missed some shots at the basket. You think about the first half. If we finished some of the plays at the basket that we had, I think it's at a minimum a tie game. If we do that, when we have opportunities at the basket, we have to be able to finish, or we have to be able to get fouled and then go to the free throw line and step up and make free throws.
Jeff, defensively, you guys were able to get some shots late when you were pressing more. Is that something that you guys think you can do more consistently in games when you start to see teams relying on their bigs the way North Carolina does?
Well, that's something that we talked about for this game that we wanted to do. We wanted to pressure them. Pressure is a way that you can defend the post. If you can make the passes a little bit more difficult, if you can make their sight, their line of vision a little bit more difficult, you can get some deflections and kind of scramble around and do things like that. Obviously, for 40 minutes, we didn't do a good job of it.
Justin, even for someone like you who's put up the scoring, the rebounding numbers that you had this season, I mean, how difficult is it to go up against a front court like that where you got two guys who are 6'10" and one who's a 6'8"?
It's very tough, They said coming into this game, they was one of the best rebound teams in the country, and we kind of fought that tonight. Garrison Brooks, Mondo Baycott, and I forgot De'Aaron Sharp. They're very good bigs, They rebounded us. We just got to be better on the glass.
Justin, how much were they able to take you out of what you wanted to do with their defense on you guys?
As a team, they took us out. I don't really feel like they personally took me out of what I'm capable of doing. I just feel like I just feel like they pressured us a lot. They jumped passes, they denied us, and we gave us a couple turnovers, and they got offensive rebounds, and they just played harder than us. That's point blank period. They played harder today.
Did all that contribute to you only getting 9 shots off tonight?
Say again?
Did all that what they did contribute to you only getting off 9 shots tonight?
I don't think that they stopped me from getting shots. I just feel like they pressured sometimes, and we didn't find the right passes, or we didn't find the open guy a lot of the times, and this is what happens. We lost.
Justin, you guys are playing aggressive defense late, and you guys are able to trap. Coach Capel was telling us that you guys need to do that better. But how confident do you guys feel as a group that when you maybe go smaller and you would get to attacking, that you guys can keep that pace up?
I feel like we are a good defensive team when we want to be. I feel like we have to learn that basketball is a game where you can't flip a switch. You can't turn it on and off day in and day out, including myself. I feel like we got to be more energetic from the jump when it comes to defense. We knew it was going into, we knew their sets, and we just had some lackadaisical plays, and they took advantage of it, and that's what happened. They won.
Justin, we had to talk some a little bit earlier about the lack of lack of shot attempts between this game and the Wake Forest game. I mean, is there anything that you think you could do to potentially be more assertive or get into situations where you can get the ball?
I mean, it was kind of hard for me to post them up today because, they are bigger than me. So it's like that aspect of the game, I couldn't really – I did it once. I got a foul on it, but I couldn't really post them up, like how I normally post up the people who got people who are my size or smaller. So that's one way I would say they had an advantage over me is that. But I feel like I shot the ball well. I went 4 for 5 from 3, 10 from 9 from the field. I should have went to the glass more. Even though I had 10 rebounds, I feel like if I went to the glass a little bit more, I could have maybe got a couple tip-ins and we could have turned the game around. But we just got to get back in the gym and work on everything.
Justin, after the Wake Forest loss, you talked about how you guys can't let this build into a bigger thing. What's the message that you and the leaders are going to send out this week? Because now you got to get ready for the weekend. What are you guys going to be talking about to young guys to step it up?
Basically, just games in the past. We got to look at what we did wrong and we got to correct the mistakes. It's not like it's not like we can't compete with all these teams. I feel like we can compete with every team in the ACC. It's just a matter of we have to fix the little mistakes. It's like the little things that build up is what leads to us losing games. If I feel like if we personally got them offensive rebounds, like the long ones that went to the guards, or even the loose balls, like we could have won the game. I feel like they outscored us because of offensive rebounds. Like literally, that's the only reason why I feel like we lost.
Over these past 3 games here, Justin, you've been 10 of 15 from a 3-point range. Is there anything that you've been working on kind of proactively to improve that, or for you is this just kind of like like you feel like you're a good shooter and it's kind of finally starting to show in games?
I feel confident. Me and Coach JC work a lot on threes, and so does me and Coach Ramon. We put up a lot of shots, and before every game, me and JC shoot mid ranges, one dribble pull ups, and threes. So, I mean, I guess it's all coming together, but I guess I should have done more today to help my team win.